officially live.
Hi!
Good evening, everyone. How are we?
Hello!
Hope you're all doing well.
I wasn't here when Austin did the last live like this, so I'm kind of looking everywhere.
She's
There's
a little
lot
freaked out by all the computer stuff that's going on. But good evening.
Okay, there's the chat.
Welcome. Yep, there's chat. So we're going to monitor chat throughout this. Matter of fact, let me throw in here if you have any questions.
Feel free to drop them in the chat.
Drop them in the chat. And we will gladly. Okay.
How do we know how many people are watching?
This little red button right here.
What is this button down here with the one?
That is, you can start Q&As, you can do polls, you can do all sorts of stuff in there.
That's
also,
fun.
Yeah, so we can chat with them in here.
Mm-hmm.
These numbers up here will also show, so we have one like.
Nice.
And then there's that. So. All right. Let's see
here. Excuse me.
Okie doke. So, we're doing our live Q&A about Disney Cruise Line. Sarah and I both have been...
Does the mic need to move?
No, the mic's on. They can hear you.
Oh. Okay.
Sarah has no idea what's happening with this. All this software.
Can you tell I'm just the pretty face? I just get to appear in and out of the videos.
I can tell that you're the pretty.
That's just because I'm partier than he is.
That's true. She is. So hopefully some of our regulars will pop in here. But we're going to talk about Disney Cruise Line. We are avid cruisers. We have been on 5 cruises together, right?
Yes.
I believe is our number right now.
It is.
And I am officially a Disney travel agent. So I have gone through all the trainings to be able to talk about Disney cruises and give you guys some guidance on what's going on there. So we thought we would do that tonight and just answer any questions that might pop up.
Yeah. Austin also, I don't remember what day it was. I think it was I was going to say Hollywood Studios Day, but I might be wrong. There was one of the days when he was live streaming where people had a bunch of cruise questions.
That was
so
Hollywood Studios, yeah.
Okay. So that's really what prompted our decision to do this type of video.
Yeah, we spent like 20 minutes answering, fielding questions about Disney Cruise Line, and so we were like, all right, well, we'll do a stream dedicated to Disney Cruise Line.
Yeah.
So,
which is not difficult for us because we talk about Disney Cruise Line every day, and when I say every day, what I meant is every day.
Literally every day. And it is a passion of our marriage, and it's something that we absolutely love doing. We're always on board to do cruises. We're always down for all of that. So it is our thing. So what we're gonna do is we do have kind of a structured setup going on. I made a little PowerPoint in Canva for all of y'all.
All y'all.
And we're just going to kind of click through and start talking about the ships and what there is to do. If you have any comments or questions, feel free to throw them in the chat. And actually, do you have your phone? Can you pull your phone up and watch the chat on your phone?
I do not have my phone, but I can go get it.
Can you go get your phone? Because this chat window has a tendency to disappear. So we want to make sure that we... make sure we can actually see all of you when you're talking. Give us 1 second here. If you have not subscribed to the channel yet, feel free to do so. Perfect timing. All right, cool. Just toss it somewhere we can see if something pops up. Yeah. Because when I click out of it to go over here,
it went away.
The chat disappeared.
Well, we don't want that to happen.
So that's not helpful. All right, so Disney Cruise Line.
What is it?
What is Disney Cruise Line? Disney Cruise Line is in my opinion, my humble opinion, one of the best cruise lines on the face of the planet. Disney Cruise Line is clean. They are professional. They are they give you that level of Disney magic in everything that they do. They are amazing restaurateurs. They do great with all their food. They do great with literally everything from housekeeping all the way through. Disney Cruise Line is absolutely amazing.
Yeah. We have not sailed other lines, so let me put that out there yet. We have a few lines in mind that we're really excited to sail, but we haven't gotten to them yet. But the reason Austin says that, in his opinion, they're that much better is we actually consume...
Don't try not to bump the desk.
Sorry.
Yeah.
We actually consume quite a bit of cruise YouTube content.
Yeah, we do.
And we have watched a large number of videos of people on different lines and their commentary. Austin also does a fair amount of digging into things like safety records and seeing, like how many times have the ships been in the news for certain incidents, things like that. So, yeah, but we love Disney.
We love Disney.
We love it.
So, I do sell other, as a travel agent, I do sell all the other cruise lines. I sell any of the major cruise lines, MSC, Royal Caribbean, Celebrity, Viking River Cruises, Virgin, Voyages, who else? I'm blanking right now. I was so focused. I've spent my whole day building this one. Celebrity, Silversea. That's who I was thinking of. Spent my whole day in Disney Cruise World, and so...
What are other ships, really?
Other cruise lines? What is that? I don't know. But I do sell all of them. I am a member of CLIO, which is Cruise Lines International Association, which is a international association of both travel agents and cruise lines that partnered together to develop training and events and all those kinds of things so that there's a better relationship between travel agents and cruise lines and their customers.
Yeah.
Because I don't know if any of you have traveled recently or know how this works, but like back in the 80s and 90s, travel agents kind of got a bad rep because they were, price gouging, to say the least. They were price gouging their clients. And so around that time, a lot of these associations popped up and were like, hey, maybe, in order to keep this field alive, maybe we all get together and agree on some rules. And so that happened. So now if you book a travel agent like me, it's totally free to you.
Yeah, which has been...
Does not cost you anything.
Kind of the most fun for people, because I'll tell Austin, there's a woman I work with who mentioned the other day that her mom wants to take her sister, and her sister's son, who's 6 now, I think she said, on a Disney cruise. And so I told Austin, I said, I told the woman at work, I said, Austin is a Disney travel agent, let him book the cruise for you. And she was so excited about that, but also she's like, well, how much is it going to cost? Because people still think that some travel agents have a fee for services, but really he just gets paid on commission from, in this instance, Disney, after you take your trip.
And honestly, the way to look at that, we talk about this when it comes to airlines and stuff, but the difference between booking a Delta flight and a Spirit flight is that Delta has built-in services for you, like 2 bags fly with you no matter what, and you get your in-flight snack, and you get your this and you get your that, which is great. However, if you're not using those services, you're not getting top dollar out of your purchase.
Right.
The same thing goes with cruise lines.
Yeah.
The cost of a travel agent is built into your cruise, no matter what, whether you use one or not. So if you know somebody who's a travel agent and you're like, oh, well, I'd really like, Becky to be my travel agent, I would say, come check in with me because I'm better than Becky.
We don't even know Becky.
I don't know who Becky is. But, like, if you do know somebody who's a travel agent, or if you're looking for a travel agent, you may as well reach out because, again, it's free.
Yeah.
Some travel agents, obviously, the next concern when people hear that is people are like, oh, but the travel agent's going to upcharge me. And in our case, I would rather keep you as a client for 20 years and be able to book for you over and over and over again than be like, I got an extra $20 out of Johnny the other day. I hate that. I hate that. It bothers me.
So,
we got another subscriber. Thank you, whoever you are.
So exciting.
So Disney Cruise Line. Disney Cruise Line came around in 1998. They originally started with the Disney Magic. Let me pop this up on the screen.
It's so cute.
Thank you. I spent all day doing it for this live stream. So the Disney Magic started off in 1998. She is 11 decks tall and holds 2,713 maximum passengers and 945 crew members. She is currently one of the 2 smallest ships in the fleet. Disney has 2 cruise ships that are the same size. They're sister ships, and it will be the Disney Magic and the Disney Wonder, her sister ship. They were both built by Fincantieri. It's a difficult word to say if you're not Italian.
You don't have the Italian lilt.
I don't have the Italian lilt, but they were both built by Fincantieri in Italy. The Magic originally was built in 1996 was when she was first laid down, with her maiden voyage in 98. And then the Wonder was started in 97 with her maiden voyage in 1999. Fun fact, the Disney Magic was actually built in 2 halves. She was built the front half and the back half because at the time Fincantieri didn't have a large enough shipyard for them to build her in one piece. So they built her in 2 pieces and floated her together like 2 floating halves of the whole thing.
She's held together with duct tape, right?
Yeah, duct tape and the spirit of Mickey Mouse. That's what keeps her together.
I feel like there's a short somewhere of Mickey like
that boat build short. The one with Goofy and Donald and stuff. So the Magic and the Wonder were really the core fleet for a long time.
Over a decade.
1999 all the way to 2009, which is when they started building the Disney Dream.
Are we in the corner, or can they see the corner?
You're right. We are in the corner. Hold on one second. Let me do this. Boom. There you go.
Okay. There you go.
So the Disney Dream was built starting in 2009, had her maiden voyage in 2011. She has 15 passenger decks, 4,000 maximum passengers, and 1,400 crew.
You said 14 decks. Is it 14 or 15?
14.
Oh, okay.
Technically, she actually has 18 decks.
Oh,
but
yeah.
But you can't access those because those are all crew only.
Right.
So, yeah. So I had that discussion with myself when I was making this about
how many
do
decks
I include
is the right number of decks?
Yeah, how many
decks? Yes, it's 14.
How many decks go where?
It's 14
passenger decks.
Yeah.
Then her sister ship, the Disney Fantasy, was brought around in 2011 was when they laid her down. And then her maiden voyage was in 2012. Same size as Disney Dream, same passenger count, same everything there. Same layout, just different theming.
Yeah.
So one of the things you're going to see with the different sister ships on Disney is there are 4 current classes of ship. The Magic class, the Dream class, and
the Wish
class. And then the Adventure class is soon coming, which that's basically just the Disney Adventure. She's going to be her own thing.
They have no plans to build another of that size that they have confirmed to the public.
Correct. We do have D23 coming up next year in August. So
can I tell them about the theming?
Go for it.
So on the first 2 ships, you have the Disney Magic and you have the Disney Wonder. So as Austin was saying, they're both the exact same layout. The restaurants are in the same spot. The rooms are all in the same spot. There is nothing different about the physical construction of the ship. But where they differ is then in their theming. So the Disney Magic is actually Art Deco themed, which we love. We did Art Deco style for our wedding and we loved it. If you're unfamiliar with Art Deco as a style, think dwarves, Lord of the Rings. That's your Art Deco kind of look. And then the Disney Wonder is Art Nouveau, which is elves, Lord of the Rings, basically. So things are curvier and more fluid.
And fluid versus
the Art Deco and geometric lines, like sharper lines, right? Yeah. So then they went up a size to the Dream and the Fantasy. The Dream and the Fantasy are sisters, but they are not sisters with the Magic and the Wonder. So they are a bigger size ship. The Dream is also Art Deco, and the Fantasy is also Art Nouveau. Then they changed everything with the Disney Wish class. We have comments. Hold on. Oh, it went away.
Oh, sorry. There you go.
Noel Cab, you're the new subscriber.
Hi, Noel. Welcome to the club.
Oh, you've been only on Royal. Okay, so you guys just started working for Disney, and you just had your first baby.
Oh, congratulations.
A Disney baby cruise.
Sarah's going to want to see pictures of your baby.
So cute.
Reach out through Instagram, and we will ooh and ah over how adorable your child is. Our child is furry and has 4 legs, so
yes, he can't go on the cruises.
Yeah.
He laments about that regularly. He doesn't understand why he cannot go to this Disney we keep talking about. Disney.
Keep talking about giant Disney. Mice. He's very confused.
Yeah. So Disney cruises are fabulous for kids.
Well, I would hope so.
Yeah, that was kind of a dumb line. But it's true.
Kind of a leader.
Well, I'll tell you why I say that. Like, there are other ships that say that they are kid-friendly, but Disney cruise, as a cruise line, Disney is more kid-centric with adult areas, whereas, like, Royal Caribbean has been more family, but not necessarily child programming for your younger kids. And so that's a very different vibe.
And to Royal's credit, until recently, they have really started bringing in a lot more family-centric programming and child-centric programming into their new ships. I mean, they're the Star of the Seas and the Icon of the Seas are huge, giant ships that just have everything. And Sarah and I were lucky enough to go through being a travel agent. We were lucky enough to go take a tour of the Utopia of the Seas 2 months ago, 3 months ago, 4 months ago. I don't know. It was over the summer.
I thought it was.
I don't remember the exact date. No,
we didn't get on the Icon.
No, we did. Icon is one of the new ships. We didn't get on that.
See, I'm not the travel agent, so I don't know.
She clearly paid a lot of attention that day.
To all the snacks and the places that I could hang out in the spa. No, but Disney does have a ton of very child-focused programming in a way that for some of the other lines is more of a convenience for adults as opposed to programming for children. But we were talking about the classes. So the Magic and the Wonder are one class, and then the Dream and the Fantasy are the next class. And both of those classes have an Art Deco and an Art Nouveau ship. However, with the Wish class, they have now changed everything. So the Wish has 2 sisters right now, the Treasure and the Destiny. And the Wish is themed to Cinderella. And we say that not because the whole ship is Cinderella, but because she's the atrium statue. So everything is like white marble, gold, bubbles, fairies, little woodland creatures on the wallpaper.
It's a stunning ship.
It's gorgeous. It's absolutely gorgeous.
We'll pull up pictures here in a little bit.
But then the treasure came out, and she is the darker sister. So she is Aladdin themed, and everything is in deep blues and like really just rich colors, and the theming is not little woodland elves. I haven't gotten to see, or not elves with the Art Nouveau, but the little woodland creatures. I haven't gotten to see a lot of the treasure theming up close because we haven't done one yet.
She's themed as Aladdin, so you see things like Agrabah. You get the lamp. The atrium statue. Yeah, there's tons of mosaics on these ships. They went a very different direction with this new class of ship to kind of freshen the brand a little bit, because these 4 over here, the Magic, the Wonder, the Dream, and the Fantasy, are the first 4 ships in the fleet. They are very classic ocean liner designs. And then the Wish, Treasure, and Destiny, and eventually the Adventure 2, really are kind of pushing a new version of like, what can a fantastical voyage, a fantastical joyage, what can a fantastical voyage, a joyful voyage, what can a fantastical voyage look like for a modern family, and how we can change the cruise industry. One of the things you were talking about, you guys all have been on Royal Caribbean ships. One of the things that Disney kind of prides itself on is, they are very, very proud of the fact that they are an industry leader. They are always at the front of innovation, and when you think of like in 1998, when Disney Cruise Line started their cruises, the only other competitor that was really doing family style cruises was Disney themselves through the Big Red Boat, which was a partnership that Disney had for another cruise line. Back then, it was mostly cruises were it's what you did when you were geriatric. It was how you got out. And honestly, a lot of my clients still are like, why would I go on cruises? They're all old people. And it's not that anymore. No. It is not. Do not get confused and think, oh, if I go on a cruise, it's all going to be blue hairs and walkers. That is not at all the experience. You're going to have some of that, I won't lie. And there are certainly some cruise lines that tailor toward that audience. Yes. But Disney is very firmly in the family category. Yeah.
So the last ship in the Wish class, well, I guess you hadn't gotten to share like the sizes on the Wish class.
Well, so the Wish class is a much larger ship. From the Dream forward, all of Disney's cruise ships were built through Meyer Werft or their affiliates. MV Werften is where the Adventure was built. But the Wish came out, maiden voyage in 2022. She's got 15 passenger decks, 5,555 maximum passengers.
Lots of ones and fives.
Lots of ones and fives. And then 1,555 crew members. Yeah. And those same stats carry forward with the Treasure, and of course with the Disney Destiny, who is set for her maiden voyage here in December.
Yeah. So the Destiny, we talked about the Wish being Cinderella themed. We talked about the Treasure being Aladdin themed. The Destiny is Black Panther themed, and so the whole ship is this battle between heroes and villains. And one of the things that Austin and I really love about the Wish class of ships has been, in the original 4 ships, he had mentioned that they are more classic ocean liners in style. They are very much cruise ships as opposed to an actual ocean liner, which apparently there is a distinction.
Go check out Ocean Liner Designs on YouTube.
He will tell you everything.
After this, don't go anywhere now. But after this, go check out Ocean Liner Designs is the name of his channel, and he talks all about the differences between different ocean liners and cruise ships and what is the difference and all that stuff. It's very informative.
Yeah, but Disney styles their ships after the traditional ocean liners, like the Queen Mary. And so which you can see in this external color pattern.
You know, you have the red bottom, the dark basin, you have the white on the top, and then especially in the other ships, you have these two classic funnels. And on Disney's cruise ships, because of modern cruise design and cruise ship design, this funnel is the only funnel that is actually exhausting gas from the engine room.
Yeah.
This first funnel is entirely fake. Disney added it entirely for aesthetic, which is just showing you like how they really do go above and beyond for their design and what they're looking to do.
Yeah. So on the original 4, when you walk on them, you see Disney's attempt to kind of expand into a family environment while still providing what people expect from a more traditional cruise. Yeah. So there are like the bars, there's like a pub, there's a champagne bar, but they're not really Disney themed. Starting with the Wish class, Disney realized, okay, this is a huge market for us and people want the theming, so they went all out.
The theming, let me try and clear this up. They're all themed well.
Yes.
The difference is once we reached the Wish class ship, they started using Disney's intellectual property in their theming instead of generic piano bar, generic pub. Then it started becoming like, oh, Tiana's, what's the name of the one on the Wish?
Tiana's Bayou.
No, the bar.
I think it's Tiana's
Bayou. Is it just
Bayou.
the Bayou?
The Bayou.
I think it's just the Bayou.
Yeah.
They have this beautiful bar called the Bayou, and it's got like vines hanging from the ceiling, and it's got twinkle lights all over the place. So they look like
fireflies and big magnolias. Obviously not real ones, but they hang over, and it's like beautiful velvet and wood and brass. Whereas that same space on the Magic, when the Magic came out, was called the Promenade and was just
the
like
Promenade Lounge. Yeah.
A lounge. So the fun thing about the Wish and her sisters is just that Disney takes their IP and now they stick it everywhere, and it is so cool, for lack of a better word. I mean,
I would say
I just think
depth.
It's very really neat. Like the piano bar, they still have a piano bar, but this time it's called Nightingales, and it's themed after the song Cinderella sings. And I
would say that the best way to describe it is, instead of being on a cruise ship that has Disney things, you are at a Disney destination that happens to be a cruise ship. Would be the difference in the theming.
Yeah. Yeah.
And they're doing that going forward into the new class too. So this is the last ship that's coming into the fleet, the Disney Adventure. Disney Adventure is totally outside of the realm of normal for what Disney does. This cruise ship was originally built for another cruise line that ended up going out of business. When they went out of business, they were totally bankrupt. Disney was like, hey, we'll buy that shell of a cruise ship. And they got it at a severe discount. They then sent it back to the shipyard, rethemed it, redid it, went back to the drawing board. And it's going to be huge. This is the biggest cruise ship that they're going to have in the fleet. Even the plans that they have announced, this will be the largest cruise ship in the fleet. She will have 19 passenger decks, 6,000 maximum passengers, and 2,100 crew. And she is going to be based out of Singapore.
Which will be the first time Disney bases a ship all the way out there. The Wonder has spent some time in Australia, but we've never had a ship whose like home port was out there.
Yeah. It's really kind of exciting to see how Disney is shifting the fleet. Right now we have these 8 vessels that are currently either floating or on their way. Destiny, Adventure are on their way. We've got 6 currently floating, 2 en route, And then they are already building the next Wish-class ship in Germany. They're already working on it.
Yeah. So they have a 4th Wish-class ship coming. Mm-hmm. And then the Oriental Land Co., who is the company that owns Tokyo Disneyland, they also are going to have a ship out, I'm guessing out of Tokyo, and it's going to be, or out of...
We don't know where she's based yet.
But she'll be out of Japan, right?
She'll be out of Japan. Yeah. She has to be out of Japan.
So she'll be out of Japan, but she is going to be the same size as well. And then Disney did announce at the last not Destination D23. At the last D23, they announced a new class of ships that is going to be between the Magic size and the Dream size. And there will be 3 of those. So we have
kind of a mid-sized...
Yeah.
A mid-sized SUV, if you will.
Right. Well, and Noel Cab, for people like you who are brand new to Disney cruising, this is such a good time to enjoy, because now you have so many different sizes of ships. You have a few different styles of ships. They're really expanding where they're going with these. But what you get fundamentally is the same Disney quality product everywhere you go with Disney. And that's one of the reasons we love it. It's a product we know. It's a product we trust. The same attention to detail in the parks is also on the ships in terms of safety and security and food. And so that's one of the reasons we really love them.
It is. I can't say enough good things about Disney Cruise Line. I really can't. Here you can kind of get an example of some of the design differences that Disney has. In each of the cruise ships, Disney has one of their classic characters done up as a bronze statue to kind of show the deep theming that they're diving into. The Magic has Mickey, the Wonder has Ariel, the Dream has Admiral Donald, the Fantasy has Flapper Minnie, the Wish has Cinderella, like we talked about. The Treasure has Aladdin. The Destiny will have Black Panther. And we have no idea what the adventure's doing.
They haven't even started talking about her.
We have no clue what she's going to have.
So before we dive into the next set of stuff, does anyone have any questions about just the sizes of the ships, the classes of the ships?
Yeah, if you have any questions, just toss them into chat. We are monitoring chat as we go. This is a live Q&A. We're going to keep talking, even if you don't throw questions out. But if you do have questions, drop them in.
Yeah.
The other thing is we are doing a giveaway right now for a $100 onboard credit and a $100 Disney gift card, which you can also use on board.
Yeah.
So once you have subscribed to our channel, you'll want to comment "boo to you" on any of our videos, not in the chat. That is a separate thing, but actually go into the comment section of a video and comment "boo to you," and you'll be automatically entered to win.
Yeah.
There are rules and regulations and all that stuff for that, so you'll want to check out our website, magicandthemurphys.com, to see all those rules.
But Noel Cab, you should definitely go enter, because what a great way to get
started on your first cruise.
Yeah, right, extra money on your first cruise.
$200 towards your first cruise. I think that's kind of awesome.
So interrupt us if you have questions. Otherwise, Austin did put together kind of a presentation just to give people an overview, but it is a live Q&A, so feel free to just drop a question in.
Toss them out.
Yeah.
I look forward to it.
The more difficult, the better.
Have any of you actually been on a Disney cruise so far, or are you... let's put a survey out. Put a poll out. There we go.
Have you been on a DCL cruise before?
Yes. No. No, but planning on it. There we go. Let's see.
Oh, this is fun.
Pop into the chat and click whether you've been, whether you have not. And that kind of gives us an idea of where we are. Yes, you have been on. Okay.
100% of the people that voted yes.
Cool. All right.
Well, we have one vote. So who's
sweet.
ever on has
Whoever's
been.
on has been. All right. Well, we're going to continue on. And if you do have questions, drop them in the chat.
Yeah. Which ship did you go on?
Oh, yeah. That's a good question.
There's a lag between y'all's typing and our getting to see it. So sometimes we just sit here and we're like, whenever. Oh, you can leave them.
Yeah, so we can ask them and then remove it. Like I just got rid of it. And then I can add another. Have you all been on cruises before? Yeah. And we get this little summary.
That's nice.
And then we can start on, like, later on, I'm going to ask what everybody's favorite ship is and do that. All right. Well, let's continue forward. So, understanding dining on board Disney cruise ships is really kind of where I wanted to start because, well, it was the first thing I thought of because I was hungry at the time that I made this presentation. So
dining also, though, is the biggest difference on Disney from the other ships, from like the other lines. You know, every line has pools, every line kind of has adults only areas, every line has bars, but dining is very different at Disney. So it's a good place to start.
Disney has 3 different dining types, essentially. Okay. They have what's called rotational dining, which is your dinner service where you change venues each night. And your server moves with you. So when you get on board the ship, you're going to get a dining rotation. And it will tell you in your app, okay, tonight for dinner, you're going to be at Animator's Palette. Here's the example that we have here from the Disney Fantasy. It'll say, okay, tonight you're at Animator's Palette. You're going to be at Animator's Palette tonight. And then tomorrow you're going to move to Enchanted Garden. And then after you finish at Enchanted Garden, you're going to go to Royal Court. And then after that, because it's a 4-night cruise, you're going to go back to Animator's Palette for the last night. And no matter how long your cruise is, you're going to rotate between these dining rooms. That's where they get the idea of rotational dining. So that you get the thematic experience available across the entire ship.
Yeah, so Disney sets 2 dining times. One that's a little bit earlier in the evening and one that's a little bit later. And if you book early enough, you can actually request a particular time. If you book too close, they'll just assign you one based on availability. But there's 2 dining times, and then all 3 restaurants that are in the rotational dining will do dining at each of those times. So there's basically 6 dinner servings.
Yeah. So each restaurant is full all the time. The nice part about rotational dining is your server and your assistant server are going to rotate with you. So you're able to, by the end of the cruise, they already know, oh, well, Sarah really likes Diet Coke with dinner. So they're going to always have, she likes a water and a Diet Coke. So they're going to have a water and a Diet Coke. I like to have iced tea with dinner. So they're going to have a water and an iced tea. And they're going to have it'll just be there ready for you when you get there.
And we also, you can ask for more unique things. Usually we like 2 beverages. So sometimes it'll be, can we have 2 waters and 2 Diet Cokes? Because then we can drink them a bit faster, given that there's a lot of people in the space, and not have as much lag time for us for getting a drink refilled. And then the rest of the time they will have those set. But they'll also know your dietary restrictions. So Austin and I don't have any allergies, but if you have an allergy, they will know. They will make sure that they're discussing the menu with you. And because they go with you the whole time, they are very cognizant and aware of what those things would be. Yeah.
The other nice part about the rotational is when you go... when we go, because we're going to do this together, because I'm now your travel agent. When we go to book your vacation, there is a portion in there where you'll be able to put in your requests for dining. And you'll be able to say, okay, well, I have such and such allergy. I would like a table near the window. I would like We often, actually every time we cruise, we always ask for an independent table, which we are not guaranteed. Hey.
Sorry, the dog. Lay down.
Down.
Thank you.
Gotta be at the center of everything.
Well, because it's evening time, he's decided no one should be working and everyone should be playing.
Time
with
to be
me,
playing
so...
and going to bed. And of course, we run on the Labrador's time, so that's how that works. But you can put in all these requests, and the requests like, well, I want to be by a window, or I want to have just a independent table, the two of us. Those requests are not guaranteed to come through. But Disney will do pretty much anything to try and make that happen as best that they can. We have had, on our last cruise when we went on the Wish, I had asked for an independent table. We didn't get an independent table.
Well, and so, okay, before we get to that part, we had tried to book the earlier dinner and were successful in doing that because we thought, oh, we'll do dinner and then a drink and then a show kind of in that order. Because when the dinners are going on, Disney's shows the big stage shows are also going on. So you have 2 showings of the show and 2 servings of dinner so that people can go to both dinner and a show without having to opt. But we had picked the earlier one and then we got and made the request for our own table. Well, the earlier dinner is usually more crowded, particularly because people are bringing their kids in because it's like 5:30 or 6:15 or something like that.
I don't remember off the top of my head. But
yeah. So it's earlier in the evening, so a lot of people with kids are trying to get their kids fed sooner.
So that they can go to bed.
Right. But when we got there, we had been planning on filming, and we did film that cruise, so you should check it out. And we got sat with 2 other sets of couples at a 6-top. And Austin and I were like, oh, this is going to make everyone so uncomfortable if we're trying to film. So
we just went to the head server and we were like, hey, is there anywhere you can put us? Any rotation, any dining room, anywhere that you have an independent table? And the head server was like, let me go look. And so he pulled his little computer up, tap, 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 tap. Yeah, I have an independent table, but it's the next dining rotation, so we can't seat you right now. And we were like, that's fine, we'll go there.
Yep.
And so we were like, cool, we'll come back in a couple hours. We came back in a couple hours. Our app updated right away and said, here's your new dining time, here's your new rotation, and we were all set. So if you have those kinds of requests or those kinds of needs, Disney is going to do whatever they can to accommodate them. And things like your dietary needs obviously are always going to be met. But things like, well, I want to sit by the window, they're going to do their best to accommodate you in order to do that. You need to lay down. And you need to stop petting him because he is just so taking cute. Advantage of you.
Sit down.
Lay down.
But I miss him
lay
all
down.
day when I'm at work. Lay down.
I spend my whole day like this. This is how I spend my day.
Damn.
Anyway.
Thank you.
Then we have quick service options. So quick service options are going to be things that essentially are where you serve yourself, or let me put this up. I didn't click on the button. My bad. Boop. Quick service options are going to be where you serve yourself, or it's coming to you in room service. Okay. Quick service options are typically mostly free. However, there are some paid options. For example, if you book room service on Disney Cruise Line is free with some exceptions.
Unless you order
a smoothie, if you order a Coke, if you order an alcoholic beverage, if you order what was the other one? There's another thing on room service. Anyway, basically, there are a few exceptions at each of these locations because, like Flo's Cafe, you can go to Flo's Cafe and pick up a burger. You can pick up chicken tenders. You can pick up pizza and brats and salad. You can pick up a tuna wrap. You can whatever they're serving that day. You can pick it all up. However, they also have at Flo's. They also have a bar. So you can go up to the smoothie bar and buy a smoothie or
an alcoholic
beverage
yeah.
or, whatever you're looking for, but that's extra. So the quick service dining typically is free. Like, for example, ice cream. There is a copious amount of ice cream everywhere on all Disney cruise ships.
So much free ice cream.
For free. Your little kids can just run around on sugar highs the entire time.
Is exclusively how much you can eat.
Literally
it.
And so you can have as much ice cream as you want to, and that's totally free. But if you go to Cabanas, for example, which is typically your breakfast and lunch option, the buffet is totally free, but there is a coffee bar at the back. Well, if you go for coffee, it's a specialty item. Specialty coffee is costs extra. So if you want your Starbucks-esque item, because it's all Joffrey's coffee, or what's the Italian brand? Eva.
It's red, the red one with the
red
silver
logo with the silver
Elia?
logo. Yeah, I think that's it.
Elia?
If you want a specialty coffee, that's extra. If you want regular drip, I just want my black coffee from the diner.
That's free.
That's free.
Yeah.
You can absolutely have that. They have that there. So, so those are just kind of some of the differences when it comes to quick service.
Yeah.
Quick service, as you cruise more, you will begin to understand where the boundaries are. There's always going to be a crew member who is walking around with a tray offering to go fetch you a beverage. Anybody who is walking around with a tray, you have to pay them. So just kind of keep that in mind as
unless they're coming to take your plate.
Your plate
because
away,
at Cabanas they will bust your table.
They will bust your table for you.
So those people, you're already paying them.
Yeah, don't fight them off like a linebacker or something, but they are there for that.
Unlike other cruise lines, where there are, I'm going to say this and then there's a caveat. Unlike other cruise lines where some of what you would think would be included food locations are not included and you have to pay for them, all of the rotational dining and all of the quick service is included and room service is included. They're just always an upcharge option, like ordering alcohol at a rotational dinner or getting a fruit smoothie down near Flo's Cafe, or you want a specialty coffee from the coffee shop, those types of things. But you can actually go the entire cruise, no matter how many days, eating and drinking for free, especially because your soda package is included.
Yeah, so Disney doesn't do packages on soda. There is no such thing as a soda package or an alcoholic drinks package. If Noel Cab said they've cruised on Royal Caribbean before, Royal Caribbean has a series of tiers that are, you can get your soda only package, you can get your alcohol package, you can get an alcohol premium package. Disney doesn't do drink packages, okay? You are going to, if you are looking to purchase an alcoholic beverage, you're going to pay per beverage the way you would at any bar on the face of the planet. And the same with soda. Your soda is just included.
Yeah.
Unless you purchase it in a can or a bottle.
Yeah. And so room service brings it in a can. I mean, can you imagine carrying trays up sets of stairs and up elevators on a moving ship with open glasses like that? So if you order a soda through room service, there is a charge because it comes in a can. But
they have soda fountains available up on the top deck, up on the pool deck, with plenty of the little Disney parks cups that you can grab and fill and drink to your heart's content.
Yeah. They also do have water bottle filler stations, and you can get as much ice and fill your actual water bottle at the soda fountain. Is that what they're called? So, a soda fountain?
Sure.
The area where you get
soda
all the
pop.
soda. Yeah. But anyway, so you can do that all day.
Yeah.
And that's really nice. And you can take it other places. Like Austin and I will grab sodas before we go watch a movie. So, you can also get free cookies at lunch and then save them for your movie and take it with you.
Taking a water bottle with you to fill with soda is perfectly fine. Just don't Don't fill the water bottle directly from the fountain.
Mm-hmm.
That's a no-no on ships because of health and safety protocols.
Yeah.
So if you decide that you want to take a water bottle like a Nalgene or something like that, you can absolutely fill it from the fountain, but don't fill it directly from the fountain. Get one of the little paper cups, fill it, put it in, fill it, dump it in. That way everything
Except your
stays
standard
sanitary.
water bottle fillers, those you can't just put your water bottle under. So then, like I said at the beginning, music to your ears. You're not much of a drinker, but we'll have one occasionally. No need. Yeah, exactly. There's no need for the pricing. So here's the other fun thing with the alcohol. One, you can bring on, I think it's one bottle of wine each
I'd
hand.
have to look at the exact. I always have to look that up.
One 6-pack, or it's like one bottle per person. You can bring on some of your own alcohol. Mm-hmm. There is a limit. The other thing is that if you really wanted a drink package, you can pre-order a number of bottles of wine or packs of beer from Disney's website in advance. But aside from that, like we'll have maybe one a day, especially if we're cruising when it's warmer, because it's just so hot.
You need water.
Yeah. Right. And so we frequently don't. Or
I'm not a booze cruiser. I'm not. I really am not. It's part of the reason that I don't sell Carnival cruises. It's just not my cup of tea, because I wouldn't do it. I won't sell it to others. But that is kind of our preference. Is like it's so much easier to just be like, oh, you know what? Today I do want a glass of wine. And are you going to pay a little bit more for it because that's just how it is? Yeah, you are. But I would rather pay,
They're still comparable to a seaside restaurant, though. A shoreside restaurant.
It's not
like
bad.
you're not paying
you're not paying exorbitant prices. You're paying. It's like any bar. You go to a bar and it's like, I think we paid like $12 for a Mai Tai, which okay. It's any resort out there. It's reasonable. Never have I looked at the price and been like, "Holy cow!" That's never been my experience.
Yeah.
Now, if you are a drinker and you enjoy a beverage regularly, it will add up. You will add up very quickly in that situation.
Yeah. But I think that because Disney is such a family-oriented cruise, they find that they don't need a full drinks package, because most people are just casually drinking, not drinking.
Yeah,
because most people have
cruise,
children with them, and so they're just not doing that. Similar to how it is at the parks, where like most of the people wandering around are not going to drink, and then you'll get some people who will want to drink a lot.
Drink around the world.
Right. Yeah. So, but it is really nice, and we have found that like when we've priced other cruises and have considered other lines, that's then one of those moments where we're like, well, now we have to pay for soda. Okay, do we want soda, or do we want a chance to get wine? Like, what are we paying? And so but yeah, so all the rotational dining and all the quick service and room service PS is 24 hours.
Yeah.
So like if it's 4 a.m.
you can call and be like, hey,
pizza,
I want pizza. And they'll be like,
pizza.
Cool, we'll be there.
Yeah.
And they'll bring it to you.
And they are so fast too. There are certain times, like if you try to order room service when dinner is going on, the kitchen itself is just busier. But anytime we've ordered room service,
I think the longest we waited was like 40 minutes.
Yeah.
Ish. Somewhere in there. So it wasn't bad. It's not bad at all. But Disney also offers specialty dining, where, and this is just an example based on the Disney Fantasy, but Disney also offers specialty dining, which are entirely extra fees. So this is not included in your cruise fare. You'll have to pay extra for this. And they are what I would call 5-star restaurants at sea. Okay. Palo is an Italian like steakhouse option on some of the ships. It's an Italian pasta place on other ships. There's another one on the Wish that's called the Rose. No, that's the bar. Enchanté. Thank you. Remy is another. It's like a French restaurant. But if you decide to book these, you will have to book a dedicated dining time. You can book brunch or dinner.
Depending on the ship. And depending... I don't know.
You can book brunch and dinner depending...
Do they do...
They do brunch and dinner on all the ships.
Of them?
Yeah.
Okay, jokes. Some of the ships only have one restaurant, too. Like the Magic and the Wonder only have one. They just have Palo.
Oh, well, yeah. But... Yeah. And, like, the Wish has 3.
What's the third one on the Wish?
Palo, Enchante, and the Rose.
The Rose is just a bar.
Oh,
like the Meridian. Yeah.
Okay. Well, there you go.
There's lots to know in different
there's
sections.
So much stuff to keep track of that sometimes you lose track of it.
Yeah. They are an extra charge. The other thing is they are exclusively adults only.
They are?
They are 18 and up.
Yep.
And they are...
They also have a dress code.
Yeah. Jacket.
You have to wear a jacket. You have to wear... actually, I think they might have loosened on the jacket rule, but there is a posted... If you decide that that's something you want to do, go to Disney Cruise Line's website, and they have the dress code listed for those restaurants specifically. So make sure you check that ahead of time so that you pack accordingly.
And if you have to travel, like when we did the Disney Wonder Cruise, Austin took a jacket. We had booked Paolo. He ended up being sick the night that we were going to go, and then we just didn't rebook it. But they do have a laundry service, and so even if you have to pack your suit jacket or pack your nice dress or slacks, whatever, you can actually get them. Obviously, you have to pay for that, but you can get them pressed and steamed and everything, so that brought
back to your room.
Yeah, so that you can have like a really nice outfit. So you don't have to.
That was a little expensive.
Oh yeah,
I think it was like $12 or $15, something like that, to have just my jacket done. But to look nice, it was definitely worth it. Each of the cruise ships has their own...
Oh, wait. Can I say something else about the specialty dining?
Go ahead.
Okay. So the specialty dinings to both the brunches and the dinners have an option where you can either order a la carte, or they have special priced menus, and then they'll also do like a wine or champagne pairing that is also an option. And that's been really fun. I think most of the times we've done the predetermined menu, which is a little bit cheaper. So it's a way to do something really nice without also like diving off the deep end. Yeah. Excuse me. But it is really cool to see that they have like full menus planned out that way, or that you can order things a la carte.
Yeah. Each of the rotational dining options that you'll see on board are a variety of themes available. You're going to see one that is what I would call kind of a classier French style beautiful restaurant. Then you're also going to see a family friendly, character forward restaurant, and then you're also going to have a restaurant that is highly themed. These two are very highly themed. Yeah. Enchanted Garden is literally a garden on the ship.
But both the Fantasy and the Dream are... I think the Fantasy's going into dry dock soon.
She's in dry dock.
She's in right now. Yeah, so we're interested to see if they change Enchanted Garden.
The other ships also have, on the Wish class, you're going to see Worlds of Marvel, which is a interactive show based around the Marvel Universe. You're going to see 1923, which is their classy, fine dining, kind of upscale based around the history of the Walt Disney Company. And then you're going to see a character-based dining option, either based after Frozen and Arendelle, Plaza de Coco, or The Lion King.
Yeah.
So you'll see those as choices as well.
Yeah, but even in Worlds of Marvel, even though the theme is the same, sort of like with Animator's Palette, the show is actually different on every ship. And the Animator's Palettes are slightly different depending on which class of ship you're on. So that makes them really fun and unique in their own way as well.
I didn't know that the Marvel shows were different because we've only been on one.
Yes.
I thought they were all the same.
No, they're a different. It's a different show, but it's still Marvel. It's just a different show each time.
Oh, I thought it was all the same. Okay. Then we also have, with the new cruise ship coming out, the Adventure. The Adventure is so big that she is going to have basically 2 whole sets of dining rotations as an option. So you will either get, and they, just so you know, they have not officially announced what the pairings are here. Mm-mm. I'm just listing this how they have on their website. But you will either get Hollywood Spotlight Club or Navigators Club, and then you will continue down the list to either Animator's Table or Animator's Palette, and then Enchanted Summer Restaurant or Pixar Market Restaurant. Mm-hmm. They are... didn't mean to click that. Like 5 mice on our screen. Mm-hmm. They are the Hollywood Spotlight Club and the Navigators Club are your classier, overlooking the sea kind of options. Animator's Palette is, of course, going to be similar. Animator's Table, they're going to be similar to the current ships. And then the Enchanted Summer Restaurant and Pixar Restaurant are more of a standard family dining experience that aren't quite as heavily themed.
Yeah.
The next thing that we're going to talk about is the kids clubs. So, Disney's kids clubs have really figured it out.
I know we're shocked by this.
Yeah.
That
Disney was one of the front runners to really establish what the modern kids club looks like. Mm-hmm. They start off with the littles, ages 6 months to 3 years. So on Disney Cruise Line, they have to be 6 months old in order to sail. So this is literally from as soon as you can get them on board to 3 years old, they can go into It's a Small World nursery. This is additional cost. You do have to pay extra for It's a Small World. And they do not offer in-stateroom babysitting. Some cruise lines offer that as like an extra that, you know, you can pay a cruise, like a, what's the word I'm looking for? A youth activities counselor to come to your room and babysit the kids. That's not something that Disney does. They do offer It's a Small World nursery where you can pay extra. It's divided into 2 rooms, so you have a nap room and a playroom. It does require a reservation, at least an hour. And you are, of course, permitted to bring personal items with them, but should check the DCL website for the list of acceptable items. Things like, you know, formula, that kind of thing. The next group is going to be our kiddos. They're in the Oceaneer Club and Lab. They're going to be ages 3 to 10. And everything from this point forward is all a complimentary service. The Oceaneer Club and Lab are going to be focused on themed play with interactive educational and enrichment options. We went and did this when we were on the Dream, and they had like a full cruise ship simulator that we sat down and played for like
they had an
20
open
minutes.
house.
They had an open house
so that parents can come and check out and kind of see what their kids can get up to and what the spaces look like.
And by parents, she means us too, because we don't have kids, but we wanted to know.
Yeah, that way we could answer people's questions.
Yeah. But those areas are really well themed to all of that. Oh, my phone is going nuts here. The Oceaneer Club and Lab are separate venues on the Magic, Wonder, Dream, and Fantasy, but they are connected. Mm-hmm. However, they were merged on the Wish class ships and the Adventure. So they are one. It is the Oceaneer Club and Lab on those ships. You can set it up so that so your kids can check themselves in on their own, but they can't leave without your parents, like anybody checking them out. Mm-hmm. So basically you can be like, oh yeah, run down the hall and check yourself into the lab, and they'll get a little wristband when they check in, and they'll learn real quick that they can just run down there and tap their little wristband and go in and play. Kids 8 and older can have the option to leave at will if you grant them the permission to. Mm-hmm. Otherwise, they're locked in. They're not going anywhere.
Yeah, and like Austin said, it's a complimentary service and it doesn't require a reservation, but you do have to register. So you will actually have to go to the Oceaneer Club and Lab or registration desk. And that will all be in your app. It'll tell you what times it's open. You can go to the open house, register your kids, and then after that, it is a free-for-all for them. And the service runs all day, like in the morning to
there are
in the
very
evening.
few exceptions to that, but yeah, it is all day.
The only times it really doesn't run are when you're in port. A lot of the Disney cast members who are on the ship will also help with port adventures. So one of the things that they do close down is the kids clubs, in part because you can't leave the ship and leave your kid on the ship.
Right.
So it's just now not open. That way we don't have any kids accidentally checking themselves in or being left to check themselves in.
They also have a handful of open houses like we talked about. And then if you go to Disney's private islands, either Castaway Cay or Lookout Point, they also have kids activities on the island, which the shipboard youth activities staff on the island. Yeah. So the ship facility will not be open
because
the island facility is open, right. So you can take them there.
Yeah, so like when you get to Lookout Cay, if your kid still wants to go hang out, they absolutely can. They just have to do it now on the island instead of on board the ship.
On board.
Yeah.
Our next group is our teens. So ages 11 to 14 will head up to Edge, which is, again, a complimentary service. It's a tween hangout with high-tech entertainment, video games, counselors hanging in. They have no reservation requirements, no registration requirement. So if you have an 11 to 14-year-old, they're just good to go. Same with Vibe, 14 to 17 years old, again, complimentary. Again, more of a social space. They've got like ping pong. They've got, pool table, I think.
I think they have like a smoothie bar.
They've got like a smoothie bar, that kind of thing.
Yeah.
Again, no reservations required, no registration required.
So if I have a 14-year-old, can they go to both?
Yes.
Really?
They are plus or minus on these ages.
Sometimes.
So here's the deal. Sometimes it really kind of depends on what the mood of the youth activities manager is on board. I have heard some people be like, oh, it wasn't a problem. They could age up from Edge to Vibe, not a problem. I have heard some people have a different experience where the kids could only go to Edge, and because they were like changed their birthday while they were on board, they aged up. They couldn't move to Vibe because of something. Yeah. But I've heard other times that they were perfectly fine. So ultimately, it's one of those things that I honestly don't know that there is a fleet-wide answer on that. I think it just kind of depends on who you talk to, that kind of a thing.
Yeah. But your 10-year-olds are not going to age up into Edge.
No, they will not.
So
the Edge to Vibe boundary is a little blurry. The Oceaneer to Edge boundary is solid. That is a hard line.
And I think that's true, too, for the Small World to Oceaneer
Lab. Yes, that one is a hard line as well.
So, when Austin was saying 6 months to 3, it's like to your 3-year-old birthday. And then 3 moving forward, you end up... Yeah, so there are hard lines for the younger children. But again, I mean, tweens, we have 13-year-olds going to high school, right? So what does that really look like?
It gets a little messy if not. Disney also has young adult spaces now. Starting with the Disney Wish, they started building what's called the Hideout, which is available on any of the Wish class ships, Disney Wish, Disney Treasure, Disney Destiny. Prior to that, on any of the other cruise ships, if you decide to go on one of those, the Magic, the Wonder, the Dream, or the Fantasy, they do have what's called the 18 to 20 Society, where they schedule events all over the ship in order for these young adults that are over 18 but not old enough to drink to be able to get social time with other people of the same age.
And they'll do events together. They'll do an ice cream social. You can see them. Anything that says 1820 Society in your app, that's who that's for.
Yeah. Disney really, they do their absolute best to try and make sure that everyone is getting included in this moment. They want everybody to have fun. They really do. So they have a place for everybody to go.
Yeah.
Next, we're going to talk about different destinations. Does anybody have any questions in that moment where we're at? If you do have any questions, just toss them in the chat. But otherwise, we're going to move on to destinations. So Disney has a wide variety of destinations available. This is directly on the Disney Cruise Line website. And their most popular destinations are obviously going to be the Bahamas and the Caribbean, however you decide to pronounce it where you're from. They also have a wide variety of Northern European cruises, the Norwegian fjords, the Mediterranean, the British Isles, Bermuda, Alaska, Canada, Mexican Riviera, Baja. You can sail through the Panama Canal. You can go to the Pacific Coast, transatlantic cruises. You can go to Hawaii. You can go to the South Pacific, New Zealand and Australia. Starting here when the adventure comes out, we're going to Singapore. So there really are, when you go to book your cruise, there is an option wherever you want to go.
Yeah. Disney
has an option. Now, I will add the caveat to that. I'm sorry, I can't read his name from this far. Noel Cab, thank you.
Yeah.
It's real tiny text from that far away. Noel Cab has sailed on Royal Caribbean a lot. Royal Caribbean prides themselves on having one of the largest fleets in the world. I think they actually have the largest fleet in the world. And Royal Caribbean has more vessels out around the world than anybody else, just because they have more ships, which means they have more destinations. But Disney is a lot more, I'm going to use the word selective, on where they choose to send their ships for safety reasons and for, obviously, for sales reasons. Like, if a ship isn't going to be at a certain capacity, they don't have an interest in that. But the bigger factor is going to be safety. There are certain cruises to certain areas that other cruise lines will go to, like in certain parts of Africa. You can absolutely find a cruise to certain parts of Africa if you absolutely want to go. But it won't be on Disney Cruise Line currently because some of those areas can be not as safe as some of the other ports that they go to. So they want to ensure the safety of their guests. They want to ensure that you have a good time. So they really, really kind of keep that in mind.
Disney also works really hard with local groups at each of these ports to develop port adventures. So depending on where they're going, like if they're not confident or comfortable in their, like what their port adventure options would be, that's another reason they wouldn't necessarily pick that port.
Yeah. Hi, Buttery Sprite. How are you? Good to see you back. Welcome to our live stream.
Yeah.
We were just talking about the destinations that Disney goes to.
So sometimes we pick, like when we're looking to book a cruise, you can book by destination. You can book by ship. Sometimes you can pick both. So, for example, there are some ships that stay in one spot. So like the Disney Treasure right now is doing exclusively Eastern and Western 7-night cruises. So she does an Eastern Caribbean loop. She does a Western Caribbean loop. She does an Eastern Caribbean loop. She does a Western Caribbean loop.
That's all she
does.
And
she does that
back and forth
over and over and over and over again. But some of the ships, like the Wonder, go lots of places. So the Wonder,
the Magic too. Yeah.
So the Wonder is on the Pacific coast.
Excuse me.
And she will do her summer season is in Alaska. So she leaves out of Vancouver and then she stops at however many ports, depending on how many days you're going on this trip in Alaska. And then she comes back down to Vancouver. Once it starts getting cold, so in mid-September, she will then do a repositioning cruise from Vancouver down to Hawaii. And so sometimes she'll stop and do a few like Baja Mexican Riviera cruises, and then she'll go to Hawaii. But she recently has done then a trans-Pacific cruise out to Australia, and she has then spent what we in the Northern Hemisphere experience as winter down in Australia instead. And so there are some ships where you can kind of go to totally different places because the ship goes and you can still experience a ship you love. But for some of the ships, if you want that ship, you are very limited in what destinations you can go to. How much is a Disney Cruise Line for 2 days? So
Disney Cruise Line, if you want to do a 2-day cruise, for example, most Disney cruises are going to be at least 3 days. 3, 4, and 5 night cruises are the baseline of what Disney does.
Yeah.
There are 2-night cruises. However, those are going to be some of the specialty cruises that we were just talking about. Like Disney has a 2-night cruise in Australia, which they're leaving Australia. I think it's at the end of this season.
I think so too.
They're pulling out of Australia for the time being. That doesn't mean that they won't be back, but just this time around.
They may send a different ship.
That is kind of my speculation. But so to answer your question about cost, because everybody always comes down to, oh, Disney cruises are so expensive. However would I afford it? Oh, no. Oh, drama. Okay, here's how you sort out how much a Disney cruise is going to cost.
One, they're not wrong. They are expensive.
They are expensive. It is an investment. However, Disney cruises and most cruise lines in general operate on what's called a double occupancy system. Okay? And what that means is when you look at the cost of a room, Disney and the cruise lines have sorted out, okay, well, in order for us to be profitable on this ship, we need to make this rate. Okay? They do all this math, arithmetic that I'm not good at. And they base the rate off of 2 people in each room. Okay? That holds that capacity. Some ships now, like Norwegian ships, have individual rooms, so they base it off of that, et cetera, et cetera. When it comes to that, the cheapest cost that you're going to be able to find on a Disney cruise ship is going to be a double occupancy rate, okay? So even if Sarah wanted to go entirely on her own and go sail on the Disney Magic, and she wanted to go do her thing entirely alone for the weekend, she's going to pay for 2 people to be on that ship, whether she takes a second person or not.
Yeah.
Okay? We met a gentleman on our Disney Dream Cruise when we were doing the Marvel Day at Sea, and he's a single adult. He comes on cruises all the time. He's now retired, and so when he comes on his own, he's paying a double rate, and sometimes he'll bring his grandkids with him to kind of offset that cost. But if he wants to come on his own, he's just coming on his own. So really the question when you start planning, okay, how much do I want to spend? Where do I want to go? All of these things are going to factor into how you plan your cruise. But one of the biggest things that you need to know is how many people are you planning on taking, and how long are you planning to be gone? That's the first 2 questions you need to know. We recommend longer cruises. Typically, I would recommend anything longer than 5 nights or more, because in my experience, when you get on board the ship, the first 3 days are pretty much hustle and bustle. Everybody's trying to get settled in. They're trying to figure out where they are. They don't really know the systems yet. And if it is a 3-night cruise, it is so rapid fire that you need a little extra time to actually decompress and relax.
Yeah. So one of the things too to consider is for your 3-night cruises, Disney has 3 rotational dining rooms, and they also will do 3 different Broadway style stage shows on every cruise. So for a 3-night cruise, if you want to eat at every rotational dining restaurant and you want to see every show, you are now basically booked from like 5:30
to
sundown, like 9. And so at that point, if you're doing a port adventure, if you've gotten off at Castaway Key, if you've gotten off at Lookout Key, suddenly you're like, how did the whole cruise go by, right? And some people like that. Some people love vacations.
I don't understand
where they're
those
just
people.
filled with things.
I don't understand those people.
I like to
I am a relaxer on my vacation.
Yeah, I want to.
I'm not a go, 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 go.
Do you remember there was a TikTok audio of this little girl who was like, I'm not really a zoom arounder. Mm-hmm. I'm same girl, same. Yeah. Like, so part of that's one thing to consider is that, you know, you could miss. You have to choose to miss things at that point if you're going to do a shorter cruise. Whereas like on the longer cruises, they'll still do 3 shows, but they may have like a magician come in between a couple of the nights. So then you don't have to do a show every night. Or you'll hit a restaurant more than once, so you could also try a specialty dining. So that's one thing to consider is just kind of the pace of what you want your vacation to be. One of the benefits of a 3-night cruise, we did one recently because we're in Orlando. I took off just a Friday and then
we got on board.
Went midday.
Away for the weekend.
And then I was at work Monday morning.
Monday morning we got off and I drove her to work.
Yep.
It was great.
So that's kind of nice, especially if you're like 2 adults going, because then it becomes just kind of an enjoyable weekend away. But the other reason that we always recommend cruises to be a little bit longer is just if you've never cruised or it's a new class of ship, it takes a while to just acclimate to where things are. And so by about day 4, then you kind of know where you're going. Yeah. So the shorter cruises can make you feel like you're sort of lost, even though there is signage and you can look in your map and app and see, you know, the map in the app and figure out where you're going. You just don't know where you're going. And that's something that...
It's not comfortable yet.
Yeah. Yeah. So that can make it feel also a little frantic. More chaotic. Yeah. And here's the other thing. Even if you figure out where you're going, not everybody else is going to figure out where they're going. So then sometimes they're walking down a hall and you have a group of 8 turn around and come right back at you. And you're like, excuse me, pardon me, just need to squeeze on by there. So that's part of why we recommend longer cruises.
And flights. That's the other reason I recommend them. If you are not, you know, we're lucky enough to be in Central Florida. We are an hour away from the port. If we want to go hop on a cruise ship, it's an hour-long drive. We park, we're done. If you are flying from somewhere that is land-based, let's say Kansas or Oklahoma, if you're flying from somewhere like that, you now have a whole day of travel to get to the ship.
You have to spend the night.
You have to spend the night prior, because I do not ever recommend that somebody travel on the day of their cruise, because if you miss the ship, that's it. You're done.
And even if it's only one flight, like our friend Molly that comes down from Columbus, she takes a single flight. But if for some reason it is delayed that morning and you either don't leave or you don't leave until 2, the ship does have a cutoff boarding time because they have to make
they have a
port
schedule
times.
They have to maintain.
Yeah, and they will not wait for you.
No. So I always recommend, like, if you're going to have a whole day ahead of time, you spend the night in the hotel, you're then on the cruise ship, and then going home, you can book a flight the same day when you get off, because you'll be off early.
They just recommend you book them like after noon.
I'd even go a little later than that. I'd say like 1:30. So if you're in Orlando, other airports that might change, so don't take that as a rule.
Yeah.
But you know, if you're going to do it the right way, once you factor in a whole day for travel, staying in a hotel, unpacking, repacking, getting on the ship, you need a couple of days to decompress from just that part, let alone anything that you had going on at home before you even got on board. I just think if you're going to really get the value out of your money and you're landlocked, go for a longer, I would say 5 nights is kind of the ideal. Excuse me. If you go longer than that, you risk the chance of being like, okay, I'm ready to go home. And if you go any shorter than that, it's just going to be frantic.
And ultimately, the am I ready to go home part is not because you don't have things to do. Some people just get a little stir crazy.
Yeah.
Like I'm pretty sure Molly would have a harder time. We did like an 8-night Alaskan cruise. I think Molly would get to a point where she's like, I've now been in the same room for 8 days, and I would like to not be here. Despite the fact that she also loves obsessively the Disney cruises. Disney cruises. So there's a good length for everybody. The other thing when you're looking at cost is when in the year do you want to go?
Yeah.
So, and which size stateroom. So like if you are only taking 2 people, we fit in every stateroom. We've done inside rooms. We've done veranda rooms. We have preferences for room sizes depending on which type of cruise we're going on.
Or length of cruise.
If
it's longer, we want a veranda room.
Yep. But we can go in every room. If you're taking 5 people...
Now that changes things.
You're restricted. So at that point, like you can't fit 5 in an inside stateroom. You can only fit 3. So if you need
4 in some of them, but yes.
Oh, there are ones that have 4?
There are ones that fit 4, yeah.
Okay. Not as many as the ones that fit 3 though.
Correct.
Okay. But like if you have 5, then you have to book a room for 5. And so then you're starting to look at veranda cost instead of inside stateroom cost, which now means maybe you pick not a popular time when your kids are already out of school. You take them when they're in school. So those are the types of things that like you have to think through, like when you're looking at budget, it's what size room am I comfortable with?
Could you sign them for me?
Yeah.
We'll actually just show them.
What size room am I comfortable with? How long am I going to need to be there or going to want to be there? And then when in the season.
So I'm going to pull up here just to give you an idea. This is the Disney Travel Agent website. DTA is what I use as a travel agent to be able to log in to see all of everything as we do. It gives me the same prices that you would see on your end as I do on my end. So I'm not seeing any different pricing or anything like that. You can see it's just taking me to the Disney Cruise Line website, and then there's this little bar that says, oh, hey, I'm a travel agent. So right here, we can already see that, okay, right now there are no 2-night cruises, which you had asked about, Buttery Sprite. Right now, the shortest cruise would be a 3-night cruise from Singapore. And I've just plugged in an example here of 4 guests, 2 adults, 2 children, and I just picked random ages, 11 and 6, for the kids to come. But you're looking at, let me look over here. For example, a veranda room. Let me find one that's wide open. Here we go. May the 4th through the 7th, 2026 on the Disney Adventure. Okay. There are all these different categories of stateroom. You've got inside, ocean view, veranda, and concierge. And then when we go into here and we start, give me 1 second here. There we go. Give you guys a little more room. We start looking at these. Okay, here's the cruise. It leaves Marina Bay.
You can probably take us off too.
Oh, yeah,
that way they can see the full map. The map's one of my favorite parts because it shows you where you're going, and I like that part.
So this is a 3-night cruise. You're going to leave the cruise terminal. You'll spend 1 night out at sea. You'll spend a 2nd night out at sea, and you'll come right back. Here's the itinerary. You'll leave Singapore, sea day, back to Singapore. Okay. Now, if we click right here, we'll see view staterooms, and it's going to ask us again to confirm how many adults, how many kids, what are we looking for, and does this need to be an accessible room? And then if you want to add another stateroom, you can click add a stateroom, and you can say, okay, well, you know, we're taking grandma and grandpa with us, and we're going to book their stateroom as well, and we can decide, do we want them to be bumped up next to each other or not? So you can make that decision here. But then once you get into the stateroom categories, which our Wi-Fi is going to do here in a second, you now have, okay, here's the 4 different categories of stateroom, right? But in the veranda section, you'll see we now have a wide variety of options even within this, we have the deluxe ocean view stateroom with veranda. We have the deluxe reef view stateroom with veranda, the deluxe garden view stateroom with veranda, or just a stateroom with veranda. And it depends on, okay, what type of view do you want? If you want the garden view because the adventure has a central garden in the middle of the ship, if you want to see the garden view, it's going to cost you more. If you want to do just a standard ocean view stateroom, it'll cost you less. Just a standard overlook on the ocean kind of portion. So it just kind of depends. And the way that Sarah has described this before is it's kind of like a soundboard. If you've ever seen at your church or your local theater company, there's a soundboard. It's got all these sliders on it. And if you push up on one slider, maybe you pull back on another slider to even out what it is we're going to do spending wise. Mm-hmm. So things like, okay, well, my budget is, let's say I want to do a Disney cruise for $10,000. Okay, $10,000 will get you a nice Disney cruise. We can absolutely do $10,000.
And I'll give you an example. With $10,000, you can fly a couple of you totally across the country to Vancouver. Mm-hmm. You can book an 8, 9, 10, 11 night Disney Wonder cruise and fly back. But you may not be able to stay in a veranda room for that.
You might have to dial it back.
You might have to do an ocean view room.
Or, okay, well, $10,000, is that $10,000 just towards your cruise? Mm-hmm. Or is that $10,000 including airfare? Because, okay, well, if it's $10,000 with airfare, you might not be able to get to Vancouver depending on where you're from.
And how many people
you're bringing. We might have to go to a more affordable option like the Caribbean cruises that are usually priced a little more affordably. Mm-hmm. So it just kind of depends on what is the thing you're looking for, and what kind of experience are you looking to build, which ultimately, if you work with a travel agent, we'll be able to walk you through that.
And the other thing that Austin does too is he likes to start with an idea of your budget, but he can also, if you know how many days you are comfortable being gone, including travel, where you're coming from, right? Mm-hmm. And then how many people you're bringing, he can then kind of put together different packages to show you, okay, if you're at this price point, these are some options, but if you're at $2,000 extra, these are your options. And if you the sky's the limit,
then
go
for the
these
concierge,
are your options.
And here's the options. Yeah, we have tons of choices.
Yeah, so he will do a lot of talking to you about what are the things that you need to consider, and then he'll do all the searching to see what he can find that fits what you're looking for.
Yeah. There are a variety as well of different staterooms within each ship, because ships are not static. They have a variety of spaces, so each room is built to specifications within that ship. But here, you can see on the Disney Adventure, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 different classes of just concierge stateroom. Mm-hmm. They have a concierge inside family stateroom, which
sleeps 6.
That has never been a thing ever before on Disney Cruise Line. This is a new thing, but that's only a thing on this ship. Mm-hmm. So if you're going on the Disney Adventure and you're like, oh, I really want to be a concierge member, but I want to save on any of the other stuff. I don't want to spend $7,000 to get a veranda. But $5,000 I'm willing to do. Mm-hmm. Great, we can get you in concierge. We can get you up on that tier. Mm-hmm. So this is kind of a good example of okay, how much do you want to spend in what way? Mm-hmm. And this website, like I said, any of the prices that you see on the Disney Cruise Line website, it's going to be the same price that I see on the Disney Travel Agent site. You will be able to see pretty much everything that I do right here. The only thing that you don't get to see is how much commission I would make. But I'll share that with you. It's not a big deal.
Ooh, that's still going on?
The 4-night from Singapore?
Yeah. No, the special deal.
That's the 50% off.
So since we're talking about ways to save cost, I have a friend who is looking to take his family of 4 on a Disney cruise. And that's a great way to do that. His kids are young enough that missing a few days of school is not as critical for them as like a senior in high school or a junior in high school might be. So he can look at some of these dates that are, Disney will put these like certain cruises on sale depending on how well they're selling. So for times of the year where kids are in school, they'll run things like a 50% off your third and fourth guest, which basically means you can bring 4 guests for the price of 3, but it's only on certain cruises. It's not any cruise year round. So for him, his kids are little, and it's okay if they miss a couple of days of school, and so he can go in and book this cruise because what he's willing to sacrifice is the time of year. Like, February would be fine for him instead of we have to go during spring break because I have 2 teenagers and they can't miss high school classes.
And if you're a double income, no kid family and you want to go on a Disney cruise, that's great for you, because if you can schedule your vacation to be in the off season, not while school is in session, you will find a very decent deal.
Yeah.
Or if you're the type of person who's willing to take your kids out of school to take them on a Disney cruise and give them, an immersion of culture elsewhere in the world, you absolutely can do that. And you will absolutely find great deals for those differences.
Yeah.
The other thing, and you'll see it here, is like one-way cruises. One-way cruises are usually marked down because you have to book a more expensive flight, and most people don't want to start in one port, end in another port, have a separate flight from the second port. It becomes a different thing. So if that's something you're willing to do or you're comfortable with doing, you can find a good deal there too.
Yeah. So an example of the one-way cruises, they're all repositioning cruises. So anytime a ship, like the Treasure doesn't have any one-way cruises. She starts in Canaveral and ends in Canaveral every single Saturday, and she just makes loops in the Caribbean. But the Magic...
Till she goes to move.
Right. Yeah. Which Disney has not indicated that she is moving by providing like sailings of her in other parts of the world. But like the Magic will have some sailings that will be out of Galveston, and then some sailings that are actually out of San Juan, and some sailings that are out of Port Canaveral. So the Magic will have a one-way from Port Canaveral down to San Juan. And so for like people like us, if we rented a car here, we could drive ourselves to the port. There are car rentals there. We can leave the car there. We could take the Magic cruise down to San Juan and then just have one flight from San Juan back to Orlando. But so like, though that's an opportunity for us to potentially save. Disney also will do Canada discounts, Florida resident discounts, military discounts. Yeah, so there are definitely ways to kind of maneuver cost. But I would, and not just because he's my husband, but I would recommend working with a travel agent like Austin or Austin specifically. Just pick him because they can do a lot of the digging for you. All the time you have to spend researching, that's his job. Yep. So,
and again, that cost is already built into the payment no matter what. This person is paying for a travel agent whether they use a travel agent or not.
Yeah.
So you may as well use one if that's the case. The other thing Disney does is they also do these theme cruises.
They're so fun.
So you'll see, like, here's a Marvel Day at Sea cruise. Here's a Very Merry Time cruise, which is all decked out for the holidays. Halloween on the high seas. Just tons of different options. And so, you really can customize, okay, well, I want to do a Very Merry Time cruise out of Galveston specifically. Okay, well, what are our options here? We've got tons of options on the Disney Magic. Oh, well, I don't want to do out of the Disney Magic. Okay, well, Disney Magic is the only ship that goes to Galveston right now. So if you have to be in Galveston, you have to go on the Disney Magic.
Right.
Or if you have to be on a ship that isn't the Disney Magic, then we'll go to a different port.
Right.
That's just an example of how we kind of fiddle with the sliders.
But with theme days, Disney has done a Star Wars Day at Sea cruise. Mm-hmm. They've done a Marvel Day at Sea. They've done Pixar Day at Sea. Mm-hmm. And the way that those work is your cruise is going to have throughout extra theming for whichever day at sea. Mm-hmm. But then one of the days at sea will just be like all stops out theming.
Yep.
So we did a Pixar Day at Sea for our honeymoon, and that day they have all these extra photo backdrops and different character meet and greets that you wouldn't get on a regular cruise, and all the activities were Pixar themed instead of being like general cruise line trivia or general Disney parks trivia or just music trivia. It was all Pixar music trivia and Pixar characters in the parks and things like that. They'll have special drinks that'll be themed. Your menu at dinner will be themed. They are super fun, and people...
You'll see special characters out those days.
Yeah, like we saw Joy and Sadness. Yeah. And they will bring out... Oh, I lost my train of thought. Oh, people will bring costumes. And they will just like full on dress up. Like there was one family who was standing in front of us to meet and greet Joy and Sadness, and they were all 5 of the original Inside Out emotions, and it was just the cutest thing. Like the dad was anger, adorable. And he had the like pants on and the button down and his sleeves rolled up, and they had brought like face paint, and it was just really precious. And so you can do those days at sea kind of rotate each year as to what ones they have available. And then Disney also will do a Halloween season, which will start in September and run through Halloween. And then right before Thanksgiving, they'll do their Very Merry Time, which will run all the way up to the new year.
Yeah. So this is a good example right here where I just scrolling through like, okay, what are the options right now? This is currently set up for our little make-believe family. 4 people, mom, dad, 2 kids. Okay. You can do a 7-night Southern Caribbean cruise from San Juan for $36.55.
So that'll mean it starts and ends in San Juan. So you would have to go to San Juan for that cruise. You'd have to
fly to San Juan for that cruise. But you can do 7 nights on the Disney Magic, which is the oldest ship in the fleet, and still in great shape. I will say that. She's in great shape. All right. But you can do 7 nights on the oldest ship in the fleet for $36.55, or you could do 4 nights on the Disney Fantasy out of Port Canaveral, which is a Christmas cruise, and
for $33
for $33 more.
Or the Wish. If you scroll down a little bit more, they also had a Wish option.
Yeah, here's a Wish option too.
So again, pricing, I mean, do you want more days but you're willing to fly to San Juan, or you don't want to fly and you live local so you just want to go out of Canaveral? Newer ships cost more than older ships. Special itineraries will cost more than like the regular Bahamian cruise.
Just going on a Tuesday kind of deal.
But then there are some exceptions to that rule as well, because like the Trans-Pacific and the Transatlantic cruises, most people don't have 2 weeks to give up for that. So if you stack your vacation in a transatlantic cruise and you're willing to like start in Canaveral and end in
Barcelona,
then you can absolutely do it.
I'm gonna scroll really fast here, so close your eyes if you get motion sick. I'm gonna go all the way to the bottom. Or stare at the camera the way Sarah does. Weirdo, making it weird.
Hilariously, because I'm staring at the camera, I'm not actually looking at the scrolling. But
so here's a 14-night westbound Panama Canal cruise from Galveston, ending in San Diego, for $95.50 for 4 people. That is not a bad price for 14 nights on board.
Yeah, and think about it this way too. Not only is it 14 nights on board, but like
here's the 6-night Bohemian from Fort Lauderdale with 2 stops at Castaway for the same family would be the same price.
But
okay, plus or minus a couple $100, but still.
No, plus or minus like $40.
Oh, I was looking at this one before.
Oh, okay.
But the eastbound, yeah, so coming back from San Diego, ending in Galveston, is $40 more.
Yeah. And so the
literally more than twice as many nights on board.
But the crazy thing too to consider is like, for that, I mean, that is expensive. Like, do not get us wrong. A 9,000 pre-tax cruise is huge.
Yep.
But that's 2 weeks with your whole little family, right? The nuclear family of 4, and it's all your food, everything your kids could drink. That's already included. For our family of 11 and who have an 11 and 6-year-old, all their kids clubs are free.
Yep.
And so suddenly you're looking at, we don't have to necessarily book excursions, and maybe we only book a couple, and you know, all the food is included, all the entertainment is included, Disney shows are all included. Disney has movie theaters on board all of their ships. They run all Disney movies.
Yep.
They run first run films. Like, we've gone on cruises where there were films on board that were in the theater currently.
That's where we saw Snow White, literally, as it came out.
Yeah.
We were like, oh, let's watch that.
So there are all kinds of things to do, and that dropped really far.
Yeah, sorry, my back's starting to hurt, so I had to change the angle a little bit.
Yeah, but you know, if what you have is time, like here's one. What if your parents want to take their grandkids, and so the parents, like the grandparents can take 2 weeks, and your kids have most of the summer, and that, I mean, that kind of trip, like, so many things are already built into your experience, and you're not paying for all these extra add-ons.
Well, and this is an amazing itinerary. You start in San Diego.
You're scrolling too fast for me to see.
Day at sea, and you're just not looking.
Cabo
San Lucas. Okay, you spend the day there. Puerto Vallarta in Mexico. Day at sea. Day at sea. Day at sea. Day at sea. Then you're going to do the Panama Canal. Then you're going to Cartagena. Day at sea. Georgetown and Grand Cayman. Day at sea. Day at sea. Galveston, Texas.
And so, like, for us, that's a great cruise. We would ideally book a veranda so that we could just really relax, enjoy, see everything, see the canal from our room. But all those days at sea become just rest and relaxation days. Kids will go to the pools. They'll do kids club activities. There will just be all kinds of things to do. There
is always something to do on a Disney ship.
Yeah. You can have no downtime.
You are not going to be be shy on any of the things to do. Disney is great for adults only.
Yeah, somebody asked us that the other day. They said, I really love Disney, but it's just me and my partner. Would we be awkward on a Disney cruise? Yeah. We haven't done one.
The answer is no.
No.
Not at all.
Disney has, for adults, Disney has their own, they call it Cove Cafe, and it is an adults-only coffee bar that also will serve alcoholic beverages. And they have little treats, which are free to you. The coffee part's not, though. And then they have their adults-only pool area. The spa is adults-only. Again, there are adults-only restaurants.
There's also, depending on which ship you go on, there's like the Dream, which is my favorite ship. If you go on board the Dream, there's what's called the Quiet Cove pool, which is an adults-only pool, and that's on deck 11.
Yes.
I think that's deck 11. It's on deck 11, and then if you go up the stairs, you can go up to what's called Satellite Falls, which is also, technically it might be a family area, but it's also adult only.
Yeah.
It's an adult-only area that's just peaceful and quiet and up by the concierge deck. And I love Satellite Falls. It's amazing. It's not a full pool, but it's like a little waiting
It's got like the bench seats.
So yeah, it's got like
and
bench
like the
seats
little
in
waterfalls.
It, and the waterfall.
They call it satellite falls because the satellite is there and then the water comes out of the yeah.
Actually, here, I'll just pull this up because
pull up a picture.
Well, I'm going to show you the next thing because it's right here.
Oh, yeah.
Right under these big giant satellite balls. That's the dream.
Mm-hmm.
So right under these satellite balls, there's like a little wading pool that you can go sit on.
Yeah.
But
there are ways to, like you don't have to hang out in the kids' pool. There are, oh gosh, there's so many different alcohol type tastings. So they'll do like a ship to stern to stem wine tasting. They'll do other types of wine tastings, cognac, bourbon, champagne, whiskey, beer. They have mixology classes.
So much stuff.
They have adults only. Like, I think during our Wish Cruise, we tried to do way more adults only activities. So there are adults only trivias. The bars will be open to everyone during the day for different types of activities like trivia or drawing classes and things like that. I took a towel folding class one time. It was so fun. But then at night, at like 9, 21 and up. And so you can maneuver your day to where you're enjoying almost exclusively adults only areas if that's something that you're into. Book the later dinner because then the stage shows have less kids because most of the kids are at the other time. But I will say, even when we do that, it's so fun. Like when we were on the Wonder, one of the stage shows on the Wonder is Frozen. And there were so many littles dressed as Anna and Elsa singing the whole show. And it was the sweetest thing because they just
belting their little Broadway hearts out.
Yeah, and it was just so sweet.
Some of them better than others.
Yes,
I will say.
Yes,
that.
But
like, all right,
they have. It's the thought that counts, right?
Yeah. So. Overall, I can't say enough nice things about Disney cruises. Disney cruises are one of our favorite getaways. They're one of our favorite things to do. We're looking at booking our next one. Like that's. And we're constantly looking. Yeah. Like, it is one of those, like, every week we sit down and are like, okay, what are the new cruises? What can we do? What are the new deals? What's coming out? That kind of thing.
What can we make work?
There are a ton of online resources, too, for you to do independent research on your own. Disney Cruise Line blog is such an amazing resource. I use them all the time. This is run by a gentleman by the name of Scott Sanders, and Scott is absolutely wonderful. You can see where the scheduled ports of call are for each of the ships right over here. And if he has a link to the live stream of what the cruise port looks like, there's a camera over here so you can look at that.
When Disney used to sail out of Miami, we would watch the port video a lot and just leave it up during the day and see the ship in port.
You can also sit here and go, okay, well, let's look at my cruise history. Here's all the cruises that we've taken so far. Here's the ones that we're looking at coming up. We haven't quite bit the bullet on, but they're there. And so you can say, okay, well, we have 6 cruises total, or I have 6 cruises because it's my stats, not Sarah's. But then I can go look at my summary and I can say, oh, okay, well, where are you in the Castaway Club, which is the loyalty program? How much time have I spent on each of the ships? And what's my top destination? It gives you all these wonderful stats. You also can go in and find, okay, what was that one port we went on our honeymoon cruise? Well, okay, I can go here. I can view the sailing. I get this beautiful map showing us where we were, what night we were at where, and which port we went to. And the other times that they've been to the... he is so thorough. This is such a good website. If you have not started looking here, you also can find, like, okay, let's learn more about which of the cruise ships are what size and what class. Okay, the Magic and the Wonder, the Dream and the Fantasy... Wish, Treasure, Destiny. Here's the 2 that they haven't named. There's the Adventure. Here's the other ones. So, like, this really is a good resource for what you're looking at as far as planning and all the options there. I highly recommend this one. The other one that I recommend for after your cruise is over is called the Cruise Globe. This was started by a YouTuber and I don't know who else helped start it.
I think there was somebody else that started the company that makes these, and then she joined in.
No, that's a separate. You're thinking of the Cruise Maps. That's a separate company.
Oh, okay.
This is we follow a channel called Emma Cruises, and Emma and some people, I don't know who else.
Emma and her friends.
Emma and her friends started this website called the Cruise Globe, and you can upload, again, those same past cruises, and it'll give you all your stats about, okay, here's how many cruises, how many ships, how many nautical miles you've sailed. But what they do here is they actually upload the exact GPS data from your cruise, and you can see where the lines are that you actually have traversed on the planet. And it's all over the place. Like, here's our Wonder Cruise. You can see, like, oh, there's all this stuff. And if you wanted to, you can go in and you can purchase, you can show more detail about the cruise. Here's how many miles, days, etc. But you also can purchase a printout of the cruise. So they'll send you like a photo that you can hang on the wall of the cruise, and it's really kind of fun. Just one of those things that I enjoyed doing.
Show them our first dream cruise.
It's this one.
No, that's 2025.
Oh, sorry, I can't see that far away.
Yeah, it's that one. Yeah. So like that one, do you see the little squiggly line like in between Castaway Key?
Right up here.
Yeah, so that was a day at sea. Except we didn't actually have that far to go. So we just went back and forth and back and forth and back and forth and back and forth all day.
And then they were like, cool, we're going back to Miami.
Yeah. So that's always really fun, is that you can see what you actually did. Because especially when you can't see land, you have no idea where you're going. Yeah. So
the other thing I would recommend is downloading the Disney Cruise Line Navigator app. There's not a ton of resources on there when you're on shore. But when you get on board the ship, there's tons of options once you're on board the ship. There's chat. There's your ship maps. There's your... you can...
do one of my favorite things. You can see every activity that's planned to go on.
That's what I was thinking of.
And then you can heart them all so that you can see your own list. Do I plan the entire cruise on the first night? Yes, I do.
And it'll give you a notification.
Also, yes.
And it'll sit there and be like, hey, this thing you favorited is now live and you should go do that.
Or it's happening in 30 minutes.
Yeah,
or
here's your notice. Your whole crew, your room, you can all chat with each other between your devices on board. So if you get separated, you can just chat in the app. You can also book your placeholder cruise right there on the app. So
the chat's really fun because they have Disney emojis.
Okay.
So usually we just send back a whole bunch of emojis because like when else do you get like Thor's hammer or like Chewbacca? Okay,
or my favorite
with heart eyes.
No, my favorite is the Emperor Palpatine. Yeah, they have like a Emperor Palpatine. Yeah. It's so cute. But they have all that on their app, which is really awesome. And I highly recommend having that ahead of your cruise. If you do decide that you want to look into booking your Disney cruise, give me a call, reach out. This is my email, austin@magicinthemurphys.com. That's our website, magicinthemurphys.com. Just reach out. It's totally free. I'm happy to help you in whatever way I can to try and get you on board one of these amazing ships. Like I said, I can't say enough good things. If you decide, hey, I don't want to do Disney cruises, but I am interested in Royal Caribbean or Virgin or MSC or one of the other cruise lines, just send me an email real quick, drop me a line on the website. I'm happy to work with you there too. Just so that ultimately your vacation should be as stress-free as possible from the moment you start planning it all the way through. Yeah. And that really is my opinion there. So, and like I said earlier, I'm not the type of person to try and upcharge you on anything. I tell all of my clients, you have the ability to say no at any time. If anything is something you don't want, just say, no, I don't want that. And I'll go, okay. And that's the end of the conversation. So we want to build a lifelong relationship with you as our clients, not a one and done kind of situation. I'm married now. Those days are behind me. It's just so. We thank you all for tuning in tonight. This has been a lot of fun. If you are not yet subscribed to the channel, please do so. We are doing that giveaway right now for a $100 Disney gift card and a $100 onboard credit for a Disney cruise booked through us before the end of 2026 is the rule on that one. All you have to do that is subscribe and comment "boo to you" on any of our videos in the actual comment section, not the chat. Yeah. Because that's a different thing. But just comment on any of our videos saying "boo to you" and you'll be automatically entered to win. We are doing that giveaway until October the 15th is the end of the giveaway. And then on Halloween night, we'll be doing another one of these live streams to give away the prize.
So someone's treat will be winning.
Yes, it will. So otherwise, I look forward to hearing from y'all. And
I'll see you tomorrow.
Yeah, Sarah's going to be live at the park tomorrow at Animal Kingdom, right? Animal Kingdom at 11 a.m.
11 a.m.
Over at Animal Kingdom. She'll be live.
Yeah. It'll be my first time doing this by myself, so it'll be great.
Should be all right.
Who knows what we'll look at.
Depending on if I never know what I'm doing. This is the most planned I've been for a live stream in a while. So,
so we'll see.
It's all right.
But it'll be super fun, so come hang out with me.
Yeah. Otherwise, we hope you all have a great evening or a great day if you're watching this after the fact.
And as always,
see
you real soon.